just have a sip of water before we start this video. We're gonna need it. What's up, you guys? Today I'm gonna be doing a really exciting, challenging video that I've never done. It is the $50 makeup challenge. So basically what I did is I went to the store. I went to a couple of stores and looked at some products and bought a full face of makeup for only $50. Now, let me say, this was quite the challenge. I had to kind of juggle with the products and be like, well, do I spend $13 on a primer or do I spend that money for an eyeshadow palette, you know? Because $50 really isn't a lot for makeup. Like, it really, to put a whole look together, you need more than that. Because even at the drugstore, I was looking, and that's mostly where I was shopping, and I was looking in most of the products, I was like, wow, I need to put more money in. I was gonna originally do a $20 makeup challenge, and I'm like, I can't do that. I'll only have like 4 products. So it is gonna be the $50 makeup challenge. I hope you guys subscribe, comment down below, and yeah, let's just get into the video. So starting off with primers, I really had a struggle with this. I was looking and I was like, basically what I was doing at the drugstore was picking up some products that I love and wanted to repurchase again. And then I was like, you know, I was looking for this primer and I'm like, you know what? Do I spend $13 on it or no? I don't know. So the primer ended up just going with the one that I thought was the cheapest, and primers honestly aren't, like, I like a really good primer to make my makeup stay on, but honestly I'd rather spend that money on something else for this look. So I went with the Maybelline Instant Pore Eraser. This has been my go-to. I was actually going to the store to pick up a refill of this, and I'm like, perfect, I love this stuff. It's one of my favorite primers, and the exact price of this primer was $9.96 for this primer. So at Walmart, it's $9.96. I love this stuff, and I figured for this challenge, why not get it again? I love it. And I was looking, like, there were L'Oreal ones, but they were like $13, and I'm like, you know, I think I could spend that money on a eyeshadow palette or something else in the look, so I decided to get this one. But it is a really good primer. It's a silicone primer. It blends really nicely into my skin seamlessly and really targets the pores and makes your makeup apply really nicely. So yeah, if you're looking for a good primer from the drugstore that's cheap and that's not too expensive, then check out this one. Now, for foundations and BB creams, I was looking at this, and this was another struggle. I was like looking at the Pixie line, I was looking at Maybelline, I was looking at Rimmel, I was looking at every pretty possible line of makeup for a BB cream, and I swear the people thought I was crazy, going back and forth, like, looking and trying to decide which one I wanted, like, but I decided to pick up another refill of the Rimmel BB cream, light to medium 9-in-1, and I used this stuff up a while ago and I haven't picked it up since, but I really did like it for a natural makeup look, for a good coverage BB cream, and one that lasts throughout the day. So it also has these 9 benefits if you're interested, and the exact price of this is $9.98, so a few more cents, like 2 more cents from the primer, but this, yeah, I really do like it, and I thought I really like this one because it hydrated my skin and is like a really good quality BB cream, so we're gonna use this. So just apply a bit onto my skin. Yeah, this challenge was not that easy, but I feel like it was kind of cool in a way. It kind of like made me like think outside the box, kind of made me like have to divvy up and decide like, okay, like which one do I want to spend the money on? you know, like, anyways. So, but it was cool. I like, this challenge was really awesome. Okay, to blend it, I'm just gonna use my pure sponge. I was gonna buy another sponge, but then I was like, you know what? We need other products in the look. We don't need a new sponge. So I was like, you know what? I'll just use my sponge I have at home. Because that was the thing. It was like juggling. It's like, do I spend more money on an eyeshadow palette but if I do that, then I won't have money to buy other stuff in the look. So it's kind of like, what do I do here? And I swear I was in the store for probably like a few hours trying to decide what products and trying to like check the prices and trying to find the shades. Like, it was just, but I'm glad I did it. It's really cool, and I'm glad that like I found some products I probably wouldn't have bought, and it was a challenge for sure. It wasn't just I walk in and buy the products. I was researching and looking, and yeah. But yeah, I've done a whole review on this Rimmel BB cream, so if you want to check out my one branded makeup tutorial by Rimmel, be sure to check that out, because this isn't really too much of like review on the products. It's more or less like, you know, we're just showing you what you can get for a full face of makeup for $50, and you can get quite a bit. There were quite a few products I didn't get because obviously it went over the budget if I did, and so kind of had to compromise and be like, do I really need this? Like, I didn't get a highlighter, and I'm like, I know, right? Like, I love wearing a highlighter, but sometimes you just gotta compromise. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more of the BB cream, and then we're gonna move on to the powder that I bought. The powder. I feel like almost any aspect, like once I moved on to like one step, I'm like, okay, I got my foundation. It should be easy finding a cheap powder. And then I was looking and I'm like, no, I feel like every step of the makeup got even harder and harder. And it was like more difficult for me to find like a product that was like good for that section. So it was difficult, you guys. You guys should really go and try this out. Like, it wasn't that easy. I had a challenge for sure, but it was really fun, and maybe next time I would up the budget like a little bit more, like maybe to like $70 instead of $50, so that I could get some more products. Okay, now that we're done like blending, looks pretty nice. We are gonna go with the powder. I went with my normal Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. I got it in the shade 003, and this was $7.98. So for a good powder, like, that's pretty good, and I was looking and a lot of them were more than that, so I kind of just had to compromise. And this one has been my favorite powder for a while. I would say like it's one of my favorite drugstore powders. So although it was hard and I was like, maybe I should try a new one, like a lot of the other ones were more expensive that the budget would have been over. So sometimes you just gotta go with the good old ones that are my favorite. And yes, I'm adding a lot because we don't have a setting spray. So if we want our makeup to stay in place, you have to add quite a bit. Okay, next for that, what we are gonna do is I got my primer, I got my foundation, I got my powder. I think we're gonna move on to the eyes. Now, the eyeshadow palette I picked for this was the Rimmel Magnification eyeshadow palette. Now, basically, I've never tried this palette. It is the Grunge and Glamour one. I have the London's Calling one, and then I have their London Nudes one, but I've never tried this one. And I was looking and I was like, maybe I could get an e.l.f. shadow palette, but then I was like, I didn't really like it too much. I was like, for $8.98, this one has a range of mattes to shimmers to different shades and has a variety of colors, which is super awesome, so I can create quite a unique look. So we're gonna just get into the eye look here, and let's just show you close up what this looks like. Quite a few unique shades that I wouldn't have picked for like an eyeshadow palette or got for myself. So I'm going to be using my 6 Plus EO2 brush, and I'm going to be dipping into this super neutral white shade as our transition. And I figured this also has a transition shade, so I don't have to go and buy like another palette that doesn't. So I thought it was great for the challenge, and I love those other two Rimmel palettes, so I'm sure this one will not let me down. And then I'm going to go in with this shimmery, kind of like muted gold, yellow tone gold shade, and put this on top. I don't know what kind of look I'm going for, but we'll kind of just see what happens. This has like a lot of darker toned shades when we go towards this side. It has like a lot of purples and brown shades, so it was definitely kind of like a change, and I'm like, you know what, like, why not try this out? Because if any of you guys are wanting to recreate this look or recreate this, then it's easier to have all the shadows in one palette than using individual shades. Now I'm going to go in with this peach shade. It's kind of like a light, muted, kind of skin tone colored peach shade. And this is a matte shade, but we're going to go in with some shimmers, of course. I just want to work up the matte shade so that it looks really opaque and nice, so that when we apply our shimmers, it will really pop. I find this is what I like to do when I apply shimmer shades, is build it up first and then apply the shimmers, because they stand out a lot better and look a lot nicer, I feel like, than if you're just putting straight on shimmer onto your eye. It won't crease as much. And I was gonna look for an eyeshadow primer, and I was like, you know, I need that, but then I was like, you know what, it's okay. These will work by themselves. Okay, now for the shimmer shade, I think I'm going to go in with this kind of like sky blue shade. It looks like the prettiest like shimmer shade. Definitely has some pigment, so make sure you're careful and use a light hand. Yeah, that definitely just like brought dimension into the eye, which was what I was wanting. Kind of like, you know, I don't know, I never find sometimes like shadows that bring dimension or like bring a color into them, or if the color payoff. I feel like sometimes, a lot of the times, drugstore shadows are great, but they don't always have the pigmentation. So I knew with this one it would, because of I have those other two palettes and they're great for having the pigmentation and blendability. So I was like, you know, I'm not gonna waste money buying this, and it won't be a disappointment. So kind of happy I got this, and I actually kind of like doing the darker shade and then creating like a darker one. Okay, now I think for the last shade we're just gonna go in with the shimmery kind of greeny gray shade and put that in the crease. Oh no, but we will do another color actually. I was like, it's kind of looking a little too dark. I feel like we need a little pop of color. Now we're going to just use this purple. It's kind of like a lavender purple-y shade that I feel like with a lot of the times with purples and shades, you really have to dig to get the pigment. So I'm just putting this outside of the lid and just kind of blending it inwards. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty eye look. Especially for the drugstore, like I feel like it looks really... You can make beautiful looks using drugstore products. Like I feel like people all the time kind of like question it, or like, oh, they don't look as great, but I feel like you can make some really nice looks using drugstore products. Sorry, just gonna clean up that side. Okay, now for mascara. I was searching and I was like, do I get a Maybelline mascara palette? Do I get, I don't know. So I found this Rimmel Scandalous Reloaded mascara, and this price was, it cost $6.48. So I was like, wow. And this is a new launch from Rimmel. It is, yeah, their new launch. And the wand looks like this. So I feel like I had a lot of volume for like a good wand, and for drugstore, I feel like I can't do wrong. I was looking at some of the e.l.f. mascaras and I was like, it didn't have that nice of a wand compared to this. And I was looking at some of the Maybelline ones, but I was like, they were gonna be putting me off budget. So I was like, this one I found, I really like the wand. It really seems like a nice like formula. It's really thick, but not too thick. Like, you know, some mascaras are like too thick that they like really overly coat your lashes, but I feel like this actually doesn't do that, and I feel like it kind of gives a natural effect but also more of an intense effect. So that's really nice. I don't know, I always like go into the drugstore looking at mascaras, and sometimes like it's not the exact wand I like, or sometimes like I like wands like these where they're very full and easy to get into the eyes and apply nicely. So I'm glad I found one like this. And another thing I allowed myself not to do in this challenge was I can't use any products I already own. So like I have to go and buy them out. So like even though I owned this a few years ago, I bought a new one, or like a few months ago I bought a new one, because I felt like it wasn't fair to do that in this challenge. Okay, I'm just using a Q-tip just to clean up a bit of the mascara. I kind of messed up a little bit, and I don't want it to get onto the lid since it is a pretty dark shadow. Kind of like a gray shadow. Okay, now after the mascara and the eyes, I found a blush and bronzer duo. Now I actually had to go to a different place to buy this. I know it looks like the same one I have, but I bought a new one, and this is the MAC Studio Blush and Bronzer Duo. I was looking at Walmart, I was looking at Shoppers, I was looking at all these different places for a drugstore blush, and a lot of them were like $11, and I was like, what? That's gonna put me over budget. But then I found this that is a blush and bronzer, so I'm like, that's perfect. Then I was looking for a highlight duo like this, didn't have it, so kind of just had to let go of the highlight. It was kind of like, I was like, I mean, like, if I can't find one, what am I gonna do? So I was like, you know what, I'd rather have blush and a little color in my face, and I'd rather have bronzer if I can't get a highlight. So I was like, you know what, at least have those things than not having them at all, you know what I mean? So, but I do like this. It isn't like, you know, the best blush or best bronzer, but for $3, like, honestly, you're still getting some color in your face. It blends pretty nicely, like, you can't go wrong, honestly. So I'm just applying a little bit. I don't want too much because it is a bit of a more rosy tone blush. And then I'm just taking the bronzer. This is kind of like a lighter brown bronzer, and I didn't want too dark of a brown bronzer just because, you know, like, fair skinned here. I don't want to be like getting too dark of like an orange bronzer on my face or like anything like that to make my skin look bad. So I figured it wasn't too bad. And it's actually blending pretty easily, so this is all right. And I bought another one of these. I already have one, but I bought another one because like I was looking and they didn't have anything, and I was looking at Maybelline and all these different brands and they didn't have anything that would have fit in the budget, or it would have made me go over if anything. So then I found this and I was like, you know what, I'll buy a restock of this. It's not too bad. Okay, so our face looks pretty nice, I must say. Like, it looks really clean and nice. And then I was looking, I was like, okay, maybe I can like get with our budget like a highlighter. I was looking, wasn't gonna happen. So I was like, you know what, we need at least a lip color. And I was looking, so I was like, you know what I can buy? I was looking at all these lip colors and I was like, I found NYC and they had their lipsticks like these and these for like $1.77 each. So I bought 3 of them because I'm like, you know what, why not have a choice in lip colors with this look? So I bought these ones. I got the shade Peach Fuzz, which is a peachy toned color. Then I got the shade Berry Me, which is a purpley toned violet color kind of. And then I got the shade Petal, which is a kind of like bubblegum pink with a bit of shimmer. So I was like, you know what? I figured these would be great. I think, what am I feeling for today? What color? I can see a little bit of mascara. And I didn't get to buy a concealer, so that kind of sucks, but oh well. You do what you gotta do, you know? Do what you gotta do. Okay, so I think for the lip color, the one that would look the best, I feel like this would look really good, but I feel like I'm just gonna go with the Peach Fuzz. I like peach lip colors, okay, so and I've used these colors many times. If you check out my Montreal vlog, I wore this and I really love this color. So I repurchased this, and then this one I used to own, but I gave it away. So I bought it again because I actually do like it. And then this one, it was just really pretty. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little different. It was kind of really cool, I think, though, just to challenge me, kind of find out new products, or old favorites and repurchase them and create a look for $50. Now my total for this whole look was $51.69. Now that is pretty good, I must say, for struggling to find items and then making a pretty nice look. Like, that is pretty nice. I can always use this eyeshadow palette as some really, really beautiful shades. A lot of these products I would not even take back because they're really, really good. So yeah, our total is $51.69. So that is really, really good, and I feel kind of proud of myself to find all these products for that price and be able to create a look with this. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. Click the red button below. It just notifies you when I upload and create new fun videos and unexpected videos like these. And be sure to comment down below some more video ideas you want to see from me and me to film, and like this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!